Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, please lead us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, and from death to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, today is our National Saints Day. He left his mortal coil on this day. That is Saint Patrick. We all know that. The saints, prophets, incarnations, or these are great people for the any society or for any civilization. Why? Because these are the people who show the path to the mankind. The incarnations and the prophets, they come and they create a new path entirely. They rejuvenate the religion, they restate or they teach the ancient values of any dharma or any religion pertaining to situations or time. But whereas the saints, they imbibe the teachings of the prophets and incarnations, and they practically demonstrate how it can be understood, how it can be practiced, and the religion and the scriptural teachings definitely can be put into practice, and they are really truth. They are not hypothetical arguments. That's why they are like practical guide maps. For an example, using a atlas or the guide, and today we all use our Android phones to reach a particular place. But there can be some time by using all these instruments, we can miss the route, we can miss the destination, and we may land into some troubles like GPRS and all. But if a person has seen the destination which we have to reach, and if we are going along with that person, reliable person, then there is no chance of losing the path. There is no chance of getting into trouble. There is no chance of missing the final destination. So here the importance of science come into picture, because the signs are mostly they're already they have reached the destination, or they have experienced the God or God's existence. They have understood the teachings of the great people or scriptures, and also they have experienced the divine or the supreme spirit. So they will be able to guide us in a proper way. Many of us, we teach, we preach based on intellect, but the saints, the men of realization or the women of realization, they have realized the truth, and out of experience they are teaching the truth. And also these are specially chosen by the God, according to me. Why? Because they are specially chosen by the God to spread his or her his message to the mankind. For example, the more and more the better mirror, the quality of the mirror, so clearly my reflection is seen. If there is any problem in the reflecting medium called mirror, then my reflecting image is also distorted. The quality of the based on the quality of the mirror, the quality of my reflection also it becomes better. If the quality is not good, then my reflection is also not good. Now, human beings, our mind is colored with all the dualities, with the selfishness, with the self-vested interest, with our own thinkings, our own calculations, and whatnot. Just like with a beautiful or with the high quality medium, you will get a good reflection. So, similarly, the saints are known for this high quality medium. They are the fittest instruments in the God's hands. Why? They are unselfish people. They are free from all the human weaknesses, attachment and aversion, lust and selfishness, or hatred and love, physical love, I mean to say. So all type of human weakness, whatever we see, mostly the saints are free from all this type of weakness. So that's why I say they are fittest instruments. Since they are fittest instruments, they can really reflect, or they can teach, or they can show the teachings of the God to the humankind in the better way, because they are noble souls, they are pure souls, they are unselfish people. They are so good in their character, in their personality, and also more than all these things, they have experienced the God, they have experienced the divinity, they have experienced the supreme truth. And how is this attained? Only they have attained. Why have we not attained? Why can't we attain? Yes, any one of us we can attain, because they led the life of truth, the path of truth, strongly, completely. And they have done a lot of penance, and they have devoted their life to the God and to the supreme and to the higher values at any given point of time, at any circumstances. Many times we feel, oh, if my life was better, if I was in a comfortable position, if I had enough riches, or if I didn't had any problems, then I would have done all these things. But because I have a lot of problems or challenges or adverse circumstances, I am unable to face all of them, or I am unable to do this. Sometimes we think this. But in the case of science, if you see, they also had a lot of problems, probably. They might have to face a lot of challenges, adverse circumstances, but still they hold it on to the truth. Still they hold it on to the God. Still they practiced, or they tread the spiritual path. We can see all these things in the life of uh, Saint Patrick itself. So that's why I say they are really specially chosen people. Now, if you see Saint Patrick's life, it is with full of mystery, and sometimes it is exaggeration. Some stories are believed. Some stories they say no, it cannot be. It is just a myth. So a lot of things are involved. Sometimes by not going with the facts, we should go with the spirit, so that we can get more and more inspiration from this saint's life. For an example, he banished snakes from Ireland. And today, in this present scenario, with the available knowledge, information, if you judge this, if you think, it is unlikely. A saint banished all the snakes from Ireland. Definitely, it is not rational to accept it. But rather, probably, one is from philosophically, probably paganism, we say, which was the original philosophy or a culture or the religion of the Ireland, where they used to worship the snake. They used to respect snakes, because in many of the old civilizations we can see, in Indian civilization, they worship snakes. So probably in Ireland also, in the paganism, they were worshipping snakes. So just to abolish that culture, abolish that thing, probably the story was cooked up saying that Saint Patrick, the national saint, he chased all the snakes from the Ireland. And basically, anyhow, now coming to the life of Saint Patrick, we should derive inspirations, so that we can also take a spiritual life, or God realization, or self realization. For that, the life incidents from Saint Patrick should help us. That's why today's topic is inspiration from Saint Patrick, who is the messenger of the God or the national saint of the Ireland. And it is based mostly on his short autobiography, the Confessio or Confess. According to it, or according to the accepted traditions, around 386 AD or ACE, after Common Era, Saint Patrick was born in Britain. He was born to the wealthy or the higher middle class family. His father probably is known as Calpurni, who himself was a deacon, and also he was a lower ranger officer in the Roman army itself. So basically, they were well-to-do people, and some of the authors say that because he became deacon, because he, if he becomes that, he acquires that position, then tax incentives are given to him. That's why he took that position. Otherwise, he was not very seriously interested in any spirituality or any religion. But very interesting thing that his grandfather, Saint Patrick's grandfather, was a priest in particular church. That means no, I mean directly or indirectly in the Saint Patrick's family, they were God-fearing people. They were spiritual natured people or religious natured people. Definitely, no doubt. And probably during at the age of 16, King Niall of Ireland, the people in those days, the Ireland people used to go to the different parts and they used to, I mean, capture some of the people and they used to sell as slaves, either men or women. So similarly, King Niall of Ireland's people also attacked on the west coast of the Great Britain. So when they attacked, when they were capturing, so they captured around 9 or 10 people. They got around 9 or 10 people. Among them, one was also Sukkot, the young boy who was the 16 years age young boy, Sukkot. He was also captured in the village called Banyan Taburnia. He was also captured. Then he was brought to Ireland, and as St. Patrick himself has said in his autobiography, for 6 years he worked as a slave, as a shepherd boy. And as we know, all that in the history, the slaves were taken very badly, they were handled, or they were, I mean, no comforts were given, no basic comforts were given for them. They had a very tough life, they had a very hard life in the midst of cold or in the midst of lack of food and lack of basic necessities. They had to spend their life. Even this young chap, Sukkot, also had to spend very hard life. He had to take care of the sheep, flock of sheep, as a shepherd boy, but he also had to undergo a lot of difficulties. And he had to be alone also. Many times in the mountain and valleys or forest, he was asked to go with a flock of sheep. So, while taking care of them, he was exposed more to the cold, ice or cold ice cold temperature, and lack of food and loneliness. See, this is the difference between a common man and with these great people. Either of some of these we may have to face, or in a different way. Then either we think of ending our life, we scold or we abuse God, we abuse nature, we abuse country, we abuse humankind, and we become agnostic or atheist or pessimist, whatnot. But this Sukkot, young chap, also had to face a lot of hardships. He had to face loneliness, no doubt. But because of that, he turned into God-fearing person, a religious person, a spiritual natured person. Has himself said that in his autobiography, that he started praying to get out from all these things. He started praying to the God for his to save himself. And he said that he prayed so much so, he increased his prayer every day. He used to pray for 100 times before finishing 100 times. He never used to go to bed or he never used to sleep, it seems. So that's how he prayed to the Lord, he prayed to the God time and again, every day, go on praying. For 6 years, he did the spiritual practice of the prayer. The efficacy of prayer, the importance of the prayer, the effect of the prayer can be seen very clearly in this, the young chap's life, that is Sukat's life. And some people, they say that he was taken to the Mount Slemish in County Antrim and where he lived. Wherever he may be, he lived in the west coast or the northern part of the Ireland. So adversities are opportunities. We have heard that. So that's what we can see very clearly in this Saint Patrick's life. Because of hardships, because of his loneliness, he never went down. He never became, atheist, or he never became pessimist. Rather, he became spiritually centered person, God-centered person, a religious natured person. He prayed more than 100 times a day. And slowly, he started believing in God, and he started enjoying that God's company or whatever. And one fine day, he had a dream. He had a vision. In the vision, it is not a dreadful dream, basically. He had a good dream. In a dream, the angel appeared. And he said that, look, there is a boat waiting for you in the coast of Ireland, Ireland coast. So that is going to the Europe, which is going to your native place. So why don't you go and get into the ship so that you can get out from this slavery or from these hardships? He had the dream. He was very happy. But at the same time, he had to walk 200 miles. Since he was a slave, it would not have been that easy to get out from that loop. He had to face a lot of hardships, no doubt. And imagine at the age of 20 plus, he had to walk for 200 miles in the forest, among the mountains and valley and terrains or whatnot. So he had to face, and whether he had a good amount, enough food or what, it is very difficult to say. And probably how he slept and how he maintained his life, it is very difficult. And basically, he underwent a lot of hardships. And finally, probably on the Wexford port, probably he went there and he saw that there a ship is waiting for him. A ship was there. He was very happy. He was so happy that okay, he's going back, and he'll be getting united with his family or with his parents. And he was about to enter to the ship. The captain stopped him and he said, "No, you cannot come. You are not supposed to come inside, for whatever the reason." Again, probably you can very well imagine. For 200 miles, he walked with all hardships, and the captain is refusing him to admit. Then again, he never cried or never screamed or shouted, or again, never thought, "Oh, the angel, you are wrong," whether it was my hallucination or whatever. He didn't think that in that way. Rather, he started again prayer. "Oh God, please save me." So he started intense prayer. Before the finishing of the prayer, a sailor came and he started shouting, "Hey, guy, please come. We would like to take you before leaving." Then he was so happy, he thanked the God and he went inside. Because the sailor, other people also argued, probably they also pleaded the captain. Captain also agreed. And finally, the Sukkot, the young chap, was taken into the ship. And finally, he sailed to his hometown. He returned to his family. Parents were very happy to see his son, young chap. He was well fed, he was well taken care, and they asked him so that he should not go anywhere, and there should be enough care be taken so that he should stay along with the family henceforth. But everyone felt that yes, that will be the case. But astonishingly, this young chap Sukkot said, "No, because I will go to the I will go to the congregation and I want to become a priest or a bishop or a father. So basically, I want to dedicate my life at the altar of Jesus Christ." People were not happy, the family people were not happy, the parents were not happy. But still, Patrick I mean, the Sukkot young chap, he said, no, I will go. And he went to the monastery in France, probably by name called Lerin. Lerin Monastery. He joined in the France, there's a monastery. So he joined that monastery and he went under religious training for 15 years. So in 418 AD, he was ordained as a deacon and he started practicing spirituality, spiritual practices he did, and he read theology also to larger extent probably. Basically, in 432 AD, he was consecrated as a bishop and he gave the name Patricus. So that's why we know him as Saint Patrick. So his original name, according to some biographers, it is Sukkot, Succat. And also there is a story around 431 or before that. One Palladius, is a bishop. He was sent as the first bishop of Ireland by Pope Celestine I in 431 itself. And there are two stories. While just before entering into Ireland or before reaching Ireland itself, he died or he passed away. Or he came here and he tried to preach Christianity. Maybe few people accepted Christianity, no doubt, in particular area, but he was killed. This Bishop Palladius was killed or murdered or whatnot. So as a result, again, the celestial Pope Celestine, again, he was thinking whom to send. Before that, already Saint Patrick or the Patrick, Bishop Patrick, had received a divine call saying that, we beg you, holy boy, to come and walk among us. So this was the voice, inner voice, spiritual voice, divine voice he used to hear a couple of times. Means Ireland people are welcoming him. Ireland people are waiting for him. Ireland people want him. So as a result, he also had thought and he had decided that he will go to Ireland and he will spread the Christianity. But the Pope didn't allow or the Pope didn't give permission. As a result, Palladius had been. Now, since Palladius is no more, now Bishop thought, okay, since Bishop Patrick is interested in spreading Christianity in Ireland, let us send him. That's how, according to the story, one of the story, that he was sent to the Ireland. And when he was sent to the Ireland, he had two things in his mind. One is what? One is spreading Christianity. Spreading Christian, helping the Christian, helping the Christians, whoever already Christians are there, ministering for them. And one is that, and the second is that spreading the Christianity all over the Ireland. These were the two goals or the mission of the Bishop Patrick. That's how he came and he started spreading the Christianity. Very interesting thing in Bishop Patrick's spreading Christianity is he tried to understand the local culture and he tried to accept and imbibe the local culture into the Christianity. Say for an example, Celtic cross. The cross Roman cross and the other parts of the world cross we see, and this area we see, the Celtic cross, which is very different, unique. So according to the biographers and the theologians, they say that because here in the paganism, the local people used to worship the sun god, and the sun god is worshipped across many civilizations, in Egypt, in Mesopotamia, in Mayan, in Indian or Aryan civilizations, in many civilizations. So similarly, even in the Ireland, in the pagan religion also, they used to worship sun god, it seems. So that's why the circle or the sun was also imbibed or was introduced into the cross. That's how it became a Celtic cross. And bonfire also we know, and as a symbol when to mark the beginning of the spring or during the Easter time, the bonfire has been lit by the king a first time. This we know that. So this was also accepted by Bishop Patrick. So like that, couple of things which was local, which was the indigenous to the culture, Irish culture, because of pagan religion. So he accepted and he tried to imbibe all these things. After the Saint Augustine's theological changes in the Roman Church. So these were all, they also had the effect in the entire Europe, including the Ireland, and that's how the Ireland Christianity also thoroughly got changed. And also, very interesting thing is, so we all call Saint Patrick, but from the Roman Catholic Church, the Patrick, Bishop Patrick was never canonized as saint at all. It is only a popular belief or a popular acclaim as Bishop Patrick has been called as a saint. And also, very interesting thing is this: when he came, he was trying to understand the local culture and the Ireland and all. He understood if I can change like kings of the Ireland, then it is easy for me to spread the Christianity. Then he thought how to do that. The high king of Tara, he was about to light the bonfire, which uh, resembles or which symbolizes the beginning of the spring. The custom was in the Ireland that the king will light the first fire of it. But before his the high king of the Tara, before his lighting itself, at the other end, Saint Patrick's with his followers, he lit the bonfire. Which was an alarming situation, or people got alarmed, and many people felt bad about it, or they were angry also, including the king. So king and his companions, basically a army went to handle the Patrick, or probably to punish the Patrick, Saint Bishop Patrick or Saint Patrick. Saint Patrick welcomed him with his spirituality, with his uh, gentlemanliness, with his holiness. He never antagonized the king, and he only made him to understand that it was only to bring his attention towards him. He did it. Otherwise, he never had any other bad intentions or wrong intentions. And he never had any intentions to challenge the king or to challenge the power of the king. So basically, I mean, he proved himself that he's a messenger of the God, or he has come here to spread the message of the God, but not for otherwise, not for anything else. So somehow the king got convinced, but at that time he didn't get converted, but he allowed him and his attendants to practice the religion and to spread the Christianity. So basically, he got the permission to spread the Christianity. He started spreading the Christianity, but there were also some problems. And I mean, even the king's decision was not welcomed by his own people. There was some tussles, or there were some misunderstandings, or there were some challenges. But slowly, the Saint Patrick's was able to spread the Christianity. And on some point of time, even the king of Tara, High King of Tara, also got converted to Christianity. Slowly, many chiefs and many kings also got converted into Christianity, and the people also slowly, in few decades, they started converting into Christianity, and the paganism, or the local religion, local culture, went back slowly. It got diminished, and that's how the whole of Ireland got into the Christian hold. But afterwards, very interesting is that for a long time, for few decades or few centuries probably, the Europe got the good amount of monks from the Ireland. So the Ireland is known for its monasticism. It is known as the country of the monks, country of the monastics. Not only for Europe, even different parts of the Europe and other places, they got the monks and they got the religious preachers from the Ireland. So Ireland supplied many monks and many religious preachers to the different parts of Europe at some point of time. That is the greatness of Ireland or in Christianity. And also interesting fact is till 1700s, the Saint Patrick Day, on the day where on the March 17th, we all know that Saint Patrick left his mortal coil. We don't know exact on which day he born. So he left his mortal coil on the 17th of March. That's why, as a remembrance, we celebrate a feast. So it was remained to the Roman Catholic Church only. So the followers of the Roman Catholic Church, they used to celebrate as a Saint Patrick's Day as a feast. And in the churches, they used to have some prayers, some congregations. it was only limited to as a religious observation, as a feast only. Only the because of political reasons we all know, the Irish people left Ireland and they settled in US or Canada, Australia, and different parts of Europe and all. So finally, especially the people, the Irish people who were staying in the US, as out of respect and out of a show, they wanted to show their respect towards Saint Patrick, and they wanted to show also to the public. So they started, doing this parades with on the Saint Patrick's Day. Slowly, slowly, it drew the attention, and even also it was also slowly after 1700. Slowly, these things were also introduced in the Ireland as a parade, and it became slow. It became slowly as a national event instead of the religious event or Roman Catholic event. Now it all, if you see the whole history or the whole life history of the Saint Patrick's, he had to face a lot of difficult situations, adverse circumstances. He had to undergo very hard, tough situations. For 6 years, he was under physical slavery. He had to undergo, but slowly, slowly, he turned himself into the God, into the divine, and he received the divine grace. Though he had to face the physical slavery, but he became the messenger of the God. Or he became the messenger of the God in the sense he became the radiator of the peace, radiator of the spirituality, or he was able to, he became one of the best preacher of the gospel, of the truth, or the Jesus Christ teachings. He controlled himself. He had a mastery on himself. He had a mastery on his passions, on his probably personality, on all his instincts. That's why he became the saint. So this is what we can understand from the saint's life. So many times we may have to face difficulties. We may not be able to change them many times, but we need not to lament and comment and keep on crying and waste our time and energy. Instead of that, accept them and slowly transcend them. Use the adversities as the opportunities. That's what we can see very clearly in the life of Saint Patrick's. How the divine grace can change a man, how the divine grace can help a person. When a person turn towards religion, turn towards spirituality, in reality, I mean to say, not with a just with any organization or a church or not like that, with really following the teachings of the prophet or the incarnation. A person does in a toto, then definitely his life will be at peace. He can experience bliss. He can overcome the difficulties. Even he can overcome all the problems, and he can be the greatest inspirator for the humankind, for the society, for the family, for the neighbors, and whatnot. So, on this auspicious day, wish you all Saint Patrick's Day, who is our national saint. So, let us try to understand, let us try to study Saint Patrick's life. Let us derive more and more inspiration so that we shall be also able to take the spiritual path seriously, and we shall also try to reach divine. We shall also try to experience the divine. We shall also try to experience the God. We shall also try to imbibe the teachings of the saints, prophets, or incarnations, and so that let us become true human beings. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishna Arpanamastu.